All right, let's do some factoring practice. So in 1, 2, and 3, these are called difference of squares. There's a subtraction sign, and they're both perfect squares. And the pattern that we learned for factoring these is basically you're going to take the square root of each of these terms. So the square root of x squared is x. The square root of 100 is 10. And one gets a plus and one gets a minus. So when you FOIL this back out, x times x is x squared. 10 times negative 10 is negative 100. Your outer term is negative 10x and your inner term is positive 10x, and that adds up to 0. And there's no other term in this polynomial. So pause the video. If you haven't tried these, try to do 2 and 3 on your own, and then come back to the video to check your answers. So this should have been x plus 6 and x minus 6, and x plus 7 and x minus 7. All right, this next row, we're going to use the diamond method, or whatever method you like. So set up two parentheses, put an x in each one. We are looking for the factors of positive 25 that add up to negative 10. So that would be negative 5 times negative 5 is positive 25, and those add up to negative 10. X minus 5, x minus 5. This is also called a perfect square trinomial, and I can write it as x minus 5 squared. So both of these, oh, no, I think this is a perfect square trinomial, but this one isn't. So try setting up your diamond method to answer each of these problems. So what are the factors of 4 that add up to 4? What are the factors of 20 that add up to 9? 2 times 2 is 4, and 5 times 4 is 20. You may not leave your final answer as a diamond. You have to take your final answer and put it into the parentheses. That's what a factor is. All right, let's see. Diamond method, and this one's going to be a greatest common factor. So let's set up these two with the parentheses. So what are the factors of 2 that add up to 3? What are the factors of 12 that add up to 8? Pause the video and try those on your own. So 2 times 1 is 2. 6 times 2 is 12. So x plus 2, x plus 1, x plus 6, x plus 2. All right, so I can divide this expression by something called its greatest common factor. So I can divide 4x evenly into each of these terms. That's called the greatest common factor. You write a parentheses and then you write what's left. 4x cubed divided by 4x leaves me with just x squared. Negative 8 divided by 4 is negative 2, and I would just have x left. And then I've got a negative 12 divided by a 4. The x's are going to cancel, and I'll just have minus 3. Now, the advanced or the bonus version would be, let's take this one step further, because this is really 4x and then 2 additional parentheses. I'd be happy if you got as far as greatest common factor. But what are the factors of negative 3 that add up to negative 2? Negative 3 times positive 1. So I could go one step further, x minus 3 and x plus 1 to be fully factored. Let's see. Diamond method. What are the factors of negative 72 that add up to that 1? And this one's a tough one. So 9 times 8 is 72. Which one of those would have to be negative to get negative 72 but add together to give you positive 1? It would have to be a negative 8. So x plus 9 and x minus 8 are your factors. Can you recognize that these are both greatest common factor problems? What can you divide them by? So I can divide each of these by a greatest common factor of 4x. So divide by 4x. So I write that out front, and what do I have left? X minus 5 when I divide them each by 4x. Pause the video and try number 12 on your own. So let's see, my greatest common factor, they're both divisible by 2, and they're both divisible by x squared. So 2x squared is my greatest common factor. 20 divided by 2, so this would be 10x, and minus 1 would be my final answer.